All right, so back onto the Whitetail Trail. I'm surrounded by these beautiful black birch saplings, tons of them just all around me. I'm really surprised at how strong that wintergreen smell was from that twig that I crushed. I mean, it was just like wintergreen, and I can understand why they make that birch beer, soda birch, out of that. That is a good flavor. I mean, like I said, I had to crush the twig, so I just chewed on it, and I figured, since they make birch beer out of that stuff, it probably wasn't toxic. It wasn't going to kill me or anything. But yeah, this is a neat little different and slightly different environment than all that mountain laurel. I don't see a mountain laurel bush now to save my life. But I did pass by, when I first entered into here, I passed by a bunch of little, I think they were kingbirds. Kingbirds, I think is what they're called. Eastern kingbirds. Tyrannus. They're those mean little birds that'll chase down hawks and just pluck out their feathers and stuff. Got a little vernal pool down here. I don't see any frog eggs or salamander eggs or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some around here. Ugh, but there's definitely some mosquitoes back on the trail here. It's kind of interesting. Must be tall grasses in here because all these downed logs have got grass draped all over them, so the weeds must get pretty thick in here. Yeah, the rockier areas up there, they would have moss growing on these logs. This has some moss, but yeah, there's some with it. But where the grass grows, it just looks like it drapes all over everything. Like I said, just a slightly different environment. That's, again, over there. We're skirting the edge of private property. So I think I saw that on the map. Oh, look here, we got some wild violets, yellow violets. Those leaves are different though. I have to look those up. No, those are the halberd leafed ones. That's right. I remember. I already did look those up. So many things that I look at. That's right. Those are the halberd leaved wild violets. Yeah, see, cute little things. I hope it comes into focus there. But yeah. All right. So here we have, interesting, caught my eye, was so far the only evergreen tree I've seen so far. This is, I don't think that's a pine. I think that's some kind of spruce. Looks more like a spruce than a pine. I could be wrong. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the young redwood trees back home in California. And yeah, those redwood trees back in California, I think they're more closer to a hemlock in some ways. Well, there's the two main big trees back home are the giant sequoia and the giant redwoods. The redwoods tend to be on the coast, and the sequoias are more inland in the drier Sierra range. But yeah, I'm thinking that's some kind of spruce. Yeah, like it's not hardly any pines at all up here. Oh wait, there's another single one over there too. Yeah, I can see another one right up here through the trees. You probably can't see it. And then I got all these little trees with the flowers on them. I don't know what kind of tree that is. It's definitely interesting. Here we got a little cross trail here. There's some purple violets finally. Oh, there's a nice little bit of a view. I don't know if you can see that very well, but yeah, this is a nice little trail. Maybe it's another gas pipeline trail. Yeah, that's not a bad little view right there. I wish I'm gonna have to upgrade my camera and get one of those like Hero. I don't know, I have to see if there's some that zoom while you're filming. Because I watch my good buddy, well, I've never really met him in person. We just chat and stuff, but I consider him a friend. Day Hike Dave. The other one is Bill Maxim. These guys, I feel like I know them, even though we've never met in person. We've left comments back and forth, and we have a lot of the same interests, like getting out in the Pennsylvania woods and hiking, all three of us. Oh, look at all the little bluets. Oh, look at that. little Quaker ladies, I believe they're also called. I don't know how well you can see those because they're tiny little flowers, but they're nice and pretty. But yeah, I was thinking of Dave because of the pine trees here. As soon as I saw him, it made me think of him because old Day Hike Dave, he loves his pine trees. And he's just a character. He's just got a great attitude. And I just watch him and Bill and another one called Places with Mandy and I want to say AJ. Yeah, but I watch those three. Whoops, I watch those three channels, you know, religiously. I never miss an episode of those three. When I can't get out here by myself and make videos, I just watch theirs, and that gives me my fix. Yeah, that's another one of the same. I think that's some kind of spruce, like I said. But yeah, Day Hike Dave, if you're watching, that made me think of you. So, in fact, you know, just thought of you the whole way because the pine knob outlook where I'm hoping to get to made me think of you. So, special message for you, Dave. All right, back into the mountain laurel, obviously, as you can see, and tons again of this wintergreen. We're back into that typical Chestnut Ridge mountain laurel zone. Yeah, like I said, we're not quite halfway to pine knob outlook. Once we get to the turnoff that starts going downhill to Redstone Creek, that's about the halfway mark. So, alrighty. I tell you what, people, I'm having to take more and more little breaks. We're getting into more up and down stuff. If you like mossy, rock-strewn trails, and you're just going to love this trail, because, I mean, look at all these moss-covered rocks and all this mountain laurel, and maybe this is, I don't know, I think this is still mountain laurel. Yeah. This one's farther along. It's actually got new growth. These guys, so must get more sunlight or something on this area. Yeah, because the other ones, they weren't even started. These ones already have some pretty good little flower clusters starting. But yeah, if you like the moss covered strewn rocks on your trail going up and down, and like tree root, you know, bases like that, this is definitely the kind of place you want to be. I mean, this trail is just gorgeous. Like I said, I'm having to take more breaks just because I'm still getting back in shape. But I'm in actually better shape than I was last time this year because I've been out doing all the yard work. My battery's getting low here, and thankfully I remembered to bring my spare. So once I run out of battery here, I'll have to change it. Wow, look at this. This is a nice moss-covered rock. Look at that. I like these forced perspective shots. They make it look a little more interesting. Yeah, and this is some thick stuff. I mean, that you could sleep on that. I mean, that's got to be a good 1 or 2 inches of puffy moss. Comfortable. Sit down and it's like it's even warm from the sunlight. Yeah, nice little place to sit and rest. Of course, it's probably wet as all heck, but if I sit down there, I'll probably get my pants all drenched. Which normally I like to wear shorts when I'm out hiking, but recently I've decided that it's better to wear pants for a couple of reasons. One, just in case, you know, snakes. You know, I mean, I've run into snakes now and then, but I've never actually been bitten by one. But you always should be careful about that. Because on one of my videos last year, there was a copperhead. Unfortunately, someone had killed it, but it was like there in the middle of the trail, and he was pretty well camouflaged in the dirt. You couldn't hardly even see him. But rattlesnakes, I know that buzz. You know, people hear, they see the movies, they think it goes, but that's not what a rattlesnake sounds like at all, people. I don't know if, for those of you who have ever heard one, you know what I'm talking about. It sounds more like a bzzz, like a really loud buzzing bee or something like that. It doesn't sound like that classic movie. It doesn't sound like that. Whew. Yeah, so okay, we're definitely getting to a downhill part. Yeah, this is definitely this is a good little drop in elevation. I can see down there. It's not too sudden. I think I remember from the map what this spot is. That means we're getting really close to where it cuts off to go down over to the right into Redstone Creek. So we're, I'd say almost halfway there. You know, oh, halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. That's another one from Day Hike Dave. He made me think of that too, because he just sung that in one of his last videos. Him and the Wandering Woodsman, Cliff, which I watched some of his videos too. But, you know, I only have so much time, you know. And these guys post way more than I do. I only post maybe 2 videos a month at most, but these guys are like every week at least. So, you know, like I said, I can always count on them to give me my Pennsylvania woodland hiking fixes whenever I can't get out here. That's what I've been watching, like I said, since I've been out doing all the yard work. But pretty much got most of it all done, so now hopefully I'll be getting some more videos. I plan on going back up to Quebec Run Wild area, because there's still tons of trails up there that I haven't hiked yet. I think so far I've only hiked 2 little sections, and there's like a dozen or more up there. So all right, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Probably feel worse on the way up. Yeah, more of these sweet birch, like I said. And then there's another, oh, that one's dead. It's funny, you know, whole different view from looking here along the woods to looking up here in the trees. Yeah, I love how the sky looks today with all these nice white puffy clouds, and I'm really hoping that if I manage to make it to Pine Knob Outlook that I'll be able to get some nice views. I'm thinking maybe I'm not going to be able to make it that far because my right ankle is starting to kind of ache a little bit with all these rocky ups and downs. So we'll see how I feel once I get down to the creek, and if I'm still feeling pretty good, then maybe I'll continue on. But if this ankle keeps bothering me, then I'll probably just stop there and turn around and then make my next hike. I'll go over when Lick Run picnic area opens up, or even if I just go out of the trail, the lower trail from Hopwood, then I'll start from that trailhead and go up to Pine Knob that way. That'll be almost a straight up the hill hike from there, and then that'll cover the northern part of the Whitetail Trail for me. Then I'll have to go from the parking lot here, then I'll have to go south. I'll have to make that a separate video and go from that parking lot south past the Laurel Caverns on the Whitetail Trail down to where it hooks up with the Long Run Trail in Quebec Run, and then I will have hiked this entire Whitetail Trail. So yeah, this is still going down. My goodness, this is, yeah, I remember what this spot was on the map, so we're getting really close. It's gonna be not too fun coming back up though. All right. Whew, okay, I made it down that. I mean, I'd rather go down a hill than, or I'd rather go up a hill than down a hill. Down a hill is a little easier to slip. Uphill is harder, of course, but I don't know, it's just safer, I think. That's the trail I just came down. It's a pretty, I must have went at least, darn fly, get out of here. I must have dropped at least 100 foot in elevation. I don't know, probably between 100 and 200. Darn flies. Ugh. Hate the bugs. That's the only thing I hate about hiking. Nice little leveled off area. So this is right where, this must be right around close to the halfway mark. Oh, we got more of those little halberd leaf violets. A lot of them all over here. More of that blocky barked tree. Huh. Looks like some, yeah, well, not as much mountain laurel. We've started getting out of the mountain laurel again, but anywhere up here, the trail should cut off to the right. Now, in front of me, there's this little knob here. This is not Pine Knob Outlook. Let's see, here's, like I said, I know I'm still on the trail because there's the red blaze. But this little knob, this is above White Rocks. So the White Rocks trail should be, oh, here we got some different blazes up here. Hold on, what do we got? Now we got a green blaze. Oh yeah, and here we got a red blaze with a, shows that it's a little right angle. See, there's a red blaze there. There's a red and a green blaze, which means something's going up here. Yeah, I know where we are on that map. And here, this tells you that the trail cuts to the right and continues on. So I guess there's another trail that goes off somewhere over here. I don't see it, but okay, yeah, there's the red blaze there. So this is the way, this is the Whitetail trail, and yeah, that goes just down. This is where that, remember I said it was like a 500-foot drop in elevation at least, 500 or 600 foot. So yeah, this is that. Ooh, that looks pretty scary coming back up. I don't know if I'll, ooh, the way my ankle is, I think maybe I'll give it a try. I'll see how far. I'll just go little by little. But yeah, this way, this trail is a green blaze marked, and it goes up there. I'm thinking that's the White Rocks Trail somewhere in here, because right down there, that's where one of the creeks, I think it's George's Creek, starts somewhere up here, or maybe it's Muddy Run or George's Creek, one or the other. And White Rocks is on that. White Rocks is, I keep meaning to do a video about that and the legend of Polly Williams. I'm not going to go here today. From what I understand, I mean, I've come up from White Rocks before, and there's all kinds of nice rock structures up there. I might do a little side video of that some other time, but given the state I'm in now, I want to conserve my energy. So, plus, like I said, my battery's starting to get a little low. I'm going to have to switch down here. So hopefully this one will last until I... All right, so my camera that battery ran out, and we're not quite to the creek yet. I'll show you on the map, because I was just looking. Now we're right here. Gee, I don't know if I can do this. I'm going to have to set it down on the ground here. Let's go. So, we started out here at the parking lot. So, let's begin. Started here, I was at the parking lot. Went all the way here. And when I started going down, this was 300 foot, and now we're right about it here at 2,300 foot elevation. Now we've got to go at least another 300 straight down this little thingy here, which, look at that. That's pretty scary looking, people. That's just almost, that's like, that drop in elevation is scary. Then, after we get there, we follow a ridge for a while up to the creek. And I might just stop there and head back. We'll see how this ankle is doing after I have lunch and everything like that. But, yeah, I mean, getting old kind of sucks, you know, but, yeah, when you look at something like this and you think to yourself, oh my. One thing I did notice, I'm seeing my first tulip poplars. You know, these are, you can always tell them by the bark and the straight, super straight trunks. Although this oak over here has these couple oaks have some really nice straight trunks. But yeah, these tulip poplars, yellow poplar tulip trees, they generally tend to have the straight trunks. Couple maples. All right, well, nice little rest. At least, like I said, those blazes are still showing me the way, so I only see this one right here in front of me. I don't see any more down there, so I'm going to have to pay close attention to where the markers are. All right, guys. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably start filming again down by the creek. Yeah, just off the trail, we got this. Wow, this big poplar tree, this tulip poplar, just snapped and... Look at that. Holy moly. Must have been a big, huge wind gust. Got some of that poly4 fungus. Yeah, that's must have been a serious wind gust came through here to snap a tree like that. Oh, look at that. We also got some more of those fungus. Boy, they're hard as a rock. Growing here and here. Some newer ones. There's a newer ones growing up there too. Wow. I hope this thing doesn't fall on my head. Yeah, we're still heading down. Okay, heading on down. Ooh, going down to another steep section. Got a nice little stand of hemlock right here, eastern hemlock. There's like must be about a dozen trees in this little location or area here. Getting back into some mountain laurel again, but yeah, this is one steep trail. Gotta be careful for this, people, and make sure you got shoes with good tread, not like me, just my old tennis shoes. I should have got some hiking boots. I need some new ones. My old ones are just about worn out. But yeah, I've already almost slipped once, and yeah, this is as you can see, just ooh. Yeah, I mean, I actually would rather walk on these rocks because they give you something solid. You never know if the ground is going to be a muddy patch or like a extra leaf litter built up. That's what made me slip, is all that leaf litter that was there. But yeah, definitely got to be careful. And then it doesn't help when you try to use these for support and they just break off there. And we're still getting a little wintergreen here and there in this spot. But oh, like I said, this is just whew, kind of treacherous in this spot. And I knew it was going to be. Like I said at the beginning, it's like a good 500 or 600 drop. One thing I'm noticing too is a lot of this wood, and I don't know what this is, but it's got this, look at this, it's got this blue-green tinge to it. I don't know what causes that, but it's like, that's kind of weird, and I've noticed that, I mean, on quite a few little spots around here. This wood has that, I don't know, see there's more there, but makes me wonder what causes that. See, there's another nice little 3 or 4 more of those hemlock trees. No other pines really, just that one, well, those 2 back there that I think were some kind of spruce. They weren't hemlock, I was pretty sure of that. But yeah, this is getting pretty steep. Ooh, I'm not looking forward to going back up this. But yeah, once we get down to the bottom of this little hill and then skirt to the right of it up here, then we ought to hit Redstone Creek. I don't know this high up how much of a creek there is, but yeah. And it's funny too, because amid all these private property things, there's also, like over here, you got white trailblazes, you got red trailblazes, there's a pink trailblaze down here, the green one's back there. It's like, geez Louise, what are all these different trailblazes? What do they all mean? I mean, I know what the red ones mean. I tell you what, I half expect I'm gonna see a bear around here. Get out of here, bugs. Yeah, I definitely in bear country. Yeah, this definitely looks like bear country. Oh, it's the only thing, like I said, I hate is all the bugs. But all right, looks like we got a little right-hand turn over here to take. Whew. Okay, people, just so you know, this is one seriously rugged section of the trail. It's something you can actually avoid altogether, but I don't think you really should. I mean, you got to appreciate this amazing, beautiful, really rugged, straight up and down. I mean, the trail is kind of going along the ridge, so it's not really rising and falling too much. But I mean, look at that elevation drop. I mean, look at that, boom. And then over there, right over there on the other side, that other peak, that's got to be Pine Knob Outlook over there. So wow, that or maybe that's it up there. Either way, I think that's it over there, because that would be where you look out. That's still a long way for me to go. I think I'm just going to go down to Redstone Creek and then head back, and then like I said, I'll make a separate video going out of Lick Run Hollow, that trailhead there, and going up to Pine Knob, because I really want to see if it's a nice view up there, and answer the age-old question, are there actually any pines on Pine Knob? Because I can't see any from here or from any other vantage point that I haven't seen any pines up there, so maybe that's false advertising. But one other little thing is, look at here, we got those yellow violets, and here we got some of the white ones, just little babies, just starting. Yeah, they've got the more usual leaves. But okay, so far on this trail we have seen all three. We've seen yellow, white, and violets. So yeah, and I really love how it's getting a little cooler in this little valley, in this little gorge. Yeah, and then like I said, we got the hemlock trees. I think they're cooling things down a little bit. That's probably why they're growing in this gorge, because it's cooler. Oh, we're getting into some more rock structures, which I always like. Yeah, people, if you come up here and hike this trail, you won't be disappointed. Of course, you have to work for it. Give you some effort, that's for sure. Whew. Yeah, I can actually see the base down there. I don't see any water yet, but I think I hear it. Either that or some wind going through the trees, though I don't have any wind up here at all. Yeah, look, we got a nice little rock up here. There's some of that leafy-like lichen. I don't see that very often. It's not as prolific or dominant. Usually it's just this other kind of lichen here. Not this, you know. Still, it's pretty cool stuff. Oh my. Someone built a fire here. That rock's gonna come down. A couple more freezes. Get some water in there and have the ice wedge it out. Yeah, nice little rock down there by that hemlock. Another little rock structure over here. Cool moss covered log with some flowering on it going on there. Yeah, that is just practically straight up and down. My goodness. Thank goodness, like I said, we're skirting. The trail is just staying fairly level. But on the other side of the creek, it rises up another 200-300 feet in elevation, which you can see over there, and goes out to, I guess over there to that point. Yeah, it is certainly different. You come up here and kind of hard to tell where you are. I mean, you look at Google Maps a lot and you kind of see it from a different vantage point. I'm really surprised I haven't seen any deer. I would love to capture a bear for y'all. A bear or some deer. Of course, you know, without a decent zoom, doesn't much matter. I actually wonder how many people actually walk this portion of the trail. It would seem that it's not very, given all this debris on the trail. Well, it's also spring, so I don't know. Now, which way? Safe, sketchy. Safe, sketchy. We'll go the sketchy way. Okay. I actually like trails like this, where it's like sheer doom on the one side and wow, more nice rock outcroppings up there. Yeah, so it's looking, judging by how my ankle's feeling and the roughness of this terrain, I think we'll get up here, have lunch, and then close out, because this video is probably already over half an hour. So all right. I gotta say, people, even though this is rough and rugged, it's not quite as bad as I expected it would be. It's pretty much stayed along the ridge line and very little up and down. A lot more of that cool leafy lichen on the rocks here. And our first rhododendron here is showing up, as I expected it would once we get into the cooler canyon. Yeah, this is a nice little section. Probably my favorite section of the trail, even though it is the most rugged, the most treacherous or dangerous. Because, you know, with all these loose leaf litter, you know, you could take a tumble and it wouldn't be too fun with all these rocks and everything. No snakes yet, which is a good thing. I mean, we don't need to be all the way up here and get a snake bite, that's for sure. Probably end up croaking on the mountain. Wow, looks like we got us a down tree, and looks like someone was up here trying to clear the trail but never got around to finishing it. Huh. Well, that's that looks like a, doesn't quite look like a chainsaw cut. I don't know, what is that? Maybe it's someone came up here with an axe or a machete or something. But love all the hemlock trees. Yeah, I hear that. It's got to be water running. I can hear it now. I don't think you can hear it through the camera, but saw my first chipmunk too. So far, that's about the only wildlife I've seen besides a few birds. And then everything's always so shy, never wants to get too close. All right, we ought to be hitting the creek here within another 10-15 minutes. Well, guess what, people? Something I would not have expected to be up here in this rocky terrain. But, oh, look at this. We got a bunch of them. There's a jack-in-the-pulpit flower. Don't really see these very often. There's another one there. Yeah, let me see if I can lift the thingy up here and see. Pretty little things, aren't they? Yeah, look at that. Oh my. And not only that, but I can see it even from here down. I mean, good thing I'm paying attention, because you wouldn't even think to look for these flowers in this rocky stuff. Let's see. The other thing I noticed is up here we got a nice little trillium. Oh, there's another little jack-in-the-pulpit coming up. I didn't think they'd like this kind of rocky terrain, but look at that. We got a nice little red trillium there. Isn't that just beautiful? Only a few of the trilliums, but I'm noticing a lot of these jack-in-the-pulpit right in this particular rocky area. Look, here's some more right here. Oh my goodness. This one's probably the most developed one so far. Yeah, look at that. I love jack-in-the-pulpits. I think they're just so pretty. When I first saw them, I didn't know what they were. I thought they were some kind of pitcher plant, but yeah, and it's all right here in this rocky, mossy area. So, all right. So anyways, heading back down almost to the creek. Oh, okay, people. It's a good thing I just stopped for a little breather here, because I just came down from here, what it looks like turned into a real actual little road bed, old road bed. And I would have kept going this way. I was not paying attention. But yeah, there's the red blazers. I would have thought it kept going this way, but this is actually where the trail goes down to cross the beautiful little Redstone Creek down there. I mean, isn't that just gorgeous? Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead, and it looks like a nice little rock. I can go sit down there and have a lunch on. So I'll probably just sit there and listen to the sound of the creek. Oh, you see how that sun just lit that up? Isn't that pretty? It was all dim, and then, man, got a bumblebee buzzing around my feet here. But yeah, that was a nice little trek. Ooh, well, everybody, I made it. I'm here at the Redstone Creek crossing of the Whitetail Trail. As you can see, it's nice and peaceful, little shaded glen with these massive old hemlock trees. These got to be like, goodness, 70, 80 feet tall. Nice, the creek is flowing at a nice little rate. That's a pretty little shot. That might be the thumbnail too, who knows? Oh, let's look. See, here's where the trail crosses. Of course, I'd have to go through here along those rocks. I'm not gonna get my feet wet. Yeah, that's the trail there. Wow, these are some pretty damn good, pretty shots, especially with that blue sky in the background there. And here is Redstone Creek coming down out of that gorge. I wonder how far, where the source of it is. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, a lot of beautiful hemlocks in here. Yeah, I think I'm just probably gonna head back from here, or I might go up to the trail here just to where the Pine Knob Road is, and then just take the road all the way back instead of hiking the trail. Either way, I think I'm gonna call it quits here. I'm gonna have my lunch, enjoy that. Look at these pretty little flowers down here. Check that out. I don't know what those are, but they got a nice little bug pollinating them. Yeah, they got some kind of bee or something there. If anybody knows what these flowers are, leave me a comment. I'm not sure what those are. Yeah, beautiful, nice little place to have a nice little lunch. Hope I didn't move the camera too fast. I think I'm gonna pluck a couple of these violet leaves down here and munch on those for my vitamin C. Only need like 3 or 4 leaves to get your daily vitamin C there. And as you can see, I took the hat off just because I was sweating. Got me some brisk iced tea, got me a little bag of that party mix, some carrots, and then some Monterey Jack cheese. I think I'll just sit down, have my lunch, end it here, and say thank you everyone for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the little hike today. Definitely beautiful country if you're ever up in this area. You know, give it a try. Like I said, this particular section is quite a bit more rugged than up there on the top of the ridge, but down here, even though it's tougher, I have to say it's my favorite part of the trail for sure. So as I said, hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like the video, leave me a comment, or share, or whatever you'd like to do. Subscribe, all that junk. Until next time, folks, I hope you have a terrific day. I hope you're enjoying your spring time in this beautiful weather and everything coming back to life. So God bless and take care, everyone. Thank you. See ya.